Have you ever heard of a hero who wasn't supposed to be one? A man whose courage shone brightest in one of America's darkest hours. Today, we're diving into the incredible true story of Dorie Miller, a name that should be known by every single one of us. His story begins not on a battlefield, but in the quiet, rural landscape of Waco, Texas. Born in 1919 to sharecropper parents, Doris, or Dorie as he was known, was a strong kid who played fullback on his high school football team. But life in the segregated South offered limited opportunities. Looking for a path forward, a way to see the world beyond the cotton fields, he enlisted in the U.S. Navy in 1939. Now, at that time, the Navy was a deeply segregated institution. For black sailors like Dorie, the roles were strictly defined. They were stewards, mess attendants, cooks, and valets. They served officers, cleaned their quarters, and shined their shoes. They were not allowed to receive combat training or fire weapons. Dorie's role was exactly that. A mess attendant, third class. After training, he was assigned to the battleship USS West Virginia, a mighty vessel homeported in a place that would soon become infamous, Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Life for Dorie aboard the West Virginia was routine. He'd wake up early, serve meals, and take care of the officers. He was good at his job and was even the ship's heavyweight boxing champion. He was a popular, well-liked member of the crew, but his world, and the entire world, was about to be turned upside down. The morning of December 7th, 1941, started like any other Sunday. The air was warm, the sky was clear. Dorie was below decks, collecting laundry, when the first alarms blared. It wasn't a drill. The unmistakable sounds of explosions and machine gun fire ripped through the tranquil morning. Japanese planes were swarming the harbor, dropping bombs and torpedoes. The USS West Virginia was one of the first ships hit. A torpedo slammed into its side, then another, and another. The ship lurched violently, explosions rocking its core. Below decks, chaos reigned. Lights flickered and died, and the ship began to list, taking on water fast. Fires broke out, spreading thick, choking smoke. In this inferno, Dorie Miller didn't panic. His first instinct was to get to his battle station, an anti-aircraft battery magazine. But when he got there, he found it destroyed by a torpedo hit. The ship was dying around him. Instead of trying to save himself, he went to where the fight was thickest to mine deck. What he saw was a scene of utter devastation. The deck was slick with oil and blood. Men were wounded, screaming, trapped. Without a moment's hesitation, Dorie sprang into action. He saw the ship's captain, Mervyn Benyon, gravely wounded by shrapnel from a bomb that hit the nearby USS Tennessee. Ignoring the strafing planes overhead and the raging fires, Dorie, along with another officer, carried their captain to a more sheltered spot. It was an act of incredible bravery, but Dorie was just getting started. An officer, seeing Dorie's strength and composure, ordered him to help carry wounded sailors from the exposed deck to relative safety. One by one, under a hail of bullets and bombs, Dorie Miller, the ship's cook, carried his injured shipmates, saving an unknown number of lives. Then, he was given another order, one that would change history. An officer yelled at him to help feed ammunition into a .50 caliber Browning anti-aircraft machine gun. The gunners had been killed. Dorie had watched them fire the weapon before, but like all black sailors, he had never been trained to use one. He loaded the ammo as ordered, but then he did something no one expected. He took control of the gun himself. Pushing the dead gunner aside, Dorie Miller leveled the powerful machine gun at the sky and opened fire on the Japanese planes that were strafing his ship. He had never fired a weapon like this in his life, but in that moment, it didn't matter. He just aimed and fired, sending streams of tracers into the sky, tracking the enemy planes as they dove. He kept firing until the ammunition ran out, and he was ordered to abandon ship as the West Virginia began to sink into the harbor mud. Dorie later said, "It wasn't hard. I just pulled the trigger and she worked fine. I had watched the others with these guns. I guess I fired her for about 15 minutes. I think I got one of those Jap planes. They were diving pretty close to us." He might have been humble about it, but his actions were anything but ordinary. In the chaotic aftermath of the attack, Dorie's heroism was initially overlooked. He was just one of thousands of sailors. But his story began to circulate. The black press, like the Pittsburgh Courier, picked up on the tale of an unnamed black sailor who had heroically manned a machine gun. They launched a campaign to identify him and demand he be recognized. Finally, the Navy confirmed the hero's identity. Mess Attendant Dorie Miller. On May 27, 1942, aboard the aircraft carrier USS Enterprise, Admiral Chester Nimitz, the commander-in-chief of the Pacific Fleet, personally pinned the Navy Cross on Dorie Miller's chest. It was the Navy's third highest honor, and Dorie was the very first African-American to ever receive it. The citation praised his distinguished devotion to duty, extraordinary courage, and disregard for his own personal safety. Dorie Miller became a national hero. His face was used on recruitment posters. He was sent on a tour across America to promote war bonds, a symbol of black patriotism and bravery. He was a powerful refutation of the racist policies that had tried to keep him on the sidelines. His actions forced the nation to confront the hypocrisy of fighting for freedom abroad, while denying it to its own citizens at home. His celebrity put pressure on the military establishment, while change was slow. Dorie's example was a powerful catalyst in the long fight for desegregation in the armed forces. Schools and training facilities began to slowly open their doors to black service members in more meaningful roles. After his tour, Dorie could have taken a safer assignment on shore. But he was a sailor, and he chose to return to sea. He was promoted to mess attendant first class and assigned to the new escort carrier, the USS Liscum Bay. Tragically, his story ends in the Pacific. On November 24, 1943, during the Battle of Makin-Atoll, a single torpedo from a Japanese submarine struck the Liscum Bay. It hit the ship's aircraft bomb magazine, triggering a massive, catastrophic explosion. The entire ship was engulfed in flames and sank in just 23 minutes. Dorie Miller, along with over 600 of his shipmates, was lost at sea. He was only 24 years old. Dorie Miller's life was cut short, but his legacy is monumental. He was a cook who became a gunner, a mess attendant who became a national hero. His courage at Pearl Harbor was a beacon of hope and a symbol of defiance. He proved that bravery knows no color and that heroes can emerge from the most unlikely of places. His legacy lives on. A frigate, the USS Miller, was named in his honor. Parks, schools, and community centers across the country bear his name. And in 2020, the Navy announced that a future Gerald R. Ford-class aircraft carrier, one of the most powerful warships ever built, will be named the USS Dorie Miller. It will be the first aircraft carrier ever named for an African American, and the first named for an enlisted sailor. Dorie Miller's story is a vital piece of American history. It's a reminder of the sacrifices made by so many, and of the long, hard-fought battle for equality. He wasn't just a hero of Pearl Harbor. He was a pioneer who helped change the course of history. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of incredible people from history. Let us know in the comments what you think about Dorie Miller's legacy. See you next time.